every single story that has a hero has a villain in it, right? And you cannot have a story that has no villain and has a hero, right? For the good guy to exist, there has to be a bad guy, right? And life as a man, even life as a woman, is going to be hard. And sometimes the way that helps you go through things is to understand that you are the hero of your life. Because when you understand that the hero goes through pain, Batman's parents died. That's why he becomes Batman. Every single superhero that you watch had to go through pain to become who he became. So now you get to see whatever struggles you're going through, whatever it is that you're going through, is shaping you to be the hero of your story. It's shaping you to be a better person. If you're overweight, that should shape you to want to be in shape. If you are financially struggling, it's going to shape you to have the mindset that you're going to make money tomorrow and say to people, you know what? I used to be broke. I used to go through this. I've gone through this. You're going to be an inspiration, right? So when you understand that the hero goes through pain, it's going to help you to go through whatever it is that you're going through. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes the best thing that you can do for yourself is to just take the first step, the second step. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. Do whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself out of whatever situation that you're going through, because that is exactly what the hero does. And some people look at the villain, right? Because the second thing is that there has to be a villain in every story. Some people look at the villain as other people. Oh, he's good looking. Oh, my cousin gets all the attention. Oh, my sister is the beautiful one. Oh, my brother is the rich one. Oh, this cousin, he gets the respect. This. You look at the villain as the other people, but sometimes the villain is a version of you. You need to create your own villain in your head, because in life is never fair. There are things that you have that I don't have. There are things that he has that I don't have. He comes from a different family. There's certain advantages that I may not have. I have certain advantages that he doesn't have. So when you compare yourself to other people, when you make other people the villain, you are never going to be satisfied. You're always going to have an emptiness and envy other people. But yet the villain that you need to create is a version of you that he does what he's supposed to do when he's supposed to do. The person you're supposed to compete with is the man or the woman who does what he or she is supposed to do in that moment. Your villain is the version of you who has your background, that will go to the gym regardless of how he feels. Your villain is the person that looks at himself and says, what are my weaknesses? He's learning how to speak, how to be fluent in English, how to be fluent in another language. Your villain is the person that dresses well and smells nice all the time. Your villain is the person that is smart. Your villain is the person that is kind. He does the right thing all the time. And when you start writing the things that your villain has, you start to compete with that person. And no matter how close you get to that villain, you need to understand your villain trains every single day to be a better version of himself. When people disrespect your family, when your family is attacked, is your villain just going to look and keep quiet? Does your villain protect his woman? But to protect the woman, has your villain been training all these years? Is your villain in capable shape to protect his family? Is your villain capable of protecting? Has he learned a fighting style? Can he even use a gun? What does your villain do? What does his network look like? What kind of friends does he have? Does he have friends that are going to make on his woman? Does he make on his friends women? Does he make moves on them? No. Because you are who you spend the most time with. If you have friends that will snake you for your woman, you are exactly that same type of guy who would snake them for their women, because birds of a feather flock together. So what kind of friendship does this villain have? Does he have friends that will abandon him when he is in his most difficult times? And if he does, it's a reflection of who you are, because you are the same type of friend who would abandon your friends in difficult times. What kind of friends does he have? What kind of woman does this villain have? Does he have a woman that's out there showing her body to everyone else? Does he have a man that is disrespecting her, sleeping with every other girl in town? Does he have a man that cannot protect her? Does your villain as a man, does he have a woman that is flirting with other men, disrespects him, And when you start to see that your villain has all the good things that you want in your life, is a version of you, it's a clone of you start to make decisions to compete with this villain. And at the end of your arc, you will be the best version of yourself. So this is how also you need to look at the story of the villain and the hero. Who are you as a person? How is the difficulties in your life shaping you to be? Write down the things that you want. What kind of a life do you want? What time does your villain sleep? Does your villain sleep at any time because there are soapies that is watching? And then he went out on a date with different girls. Today he sleeps at 12, tomorrow he sleeps at 11. And then he wakes up tomorrow at 8, the other day at 10, the other day at 4. Or does your villain sleep at the same time? He is well rested, wakes up early before the cock crows, reads a book, goes to the gym. When he comes back, what does he do? Is he productive? Is he trying to build something? When Bitcoin was $100, did your villain invest in the Bitcoin when it was $100? Or is your villain the kind of person that is surprised when now Bitcoin is at 100,000 worth? Your villain should be the guy that is on top of everything. And I understand it's hard. It is hard. That's why you need to pick the story of the hero. That's why your villain, the one in your mind, is a version of you that does what he's supposed to do. Compete with that person. Be on top of things. Understand politics. What's going on in the world? How can you invest your money? God has blessed you with a beautiful job. Is the best way to spend your money to just spend it and let women come into your life? You try and impress them. You stop your own growth to impress a woman. Or does your villain look at it and say, I need to make these investments first. I need to do A, B, C, D before I start doing this. When I have abundance, I will then maybe do this. But for now, I need to set my future. So who are you as a person? And what kind of villains do you have in your life? Is the question you need to ask yourself. Because at the end of the day, that villain is a version of you. And that is the only person you should be competing with. And there's another way that you can look at the story of the hero and the villain, right? One of my favorite quotes says, heroes and villains always have the same backstory: pain. The difference is what they choose to do about it. Heroes say, the world hurt me, and I'm not going to let it hurt anybody else. And the villain says, the world hurt me, and I'm going to hurt it back. Heroes use pain, and villains are used by pain. Is that not the story of how we live? You have people that have gone through a lot of struggle. They have been through hell from childhood. It could be being raised by narcissistic parents. It could be being around people that never believed in you. It could be being abused. But certain people, after feeling all that pain, grow up to try and be individuals that are not going to pass on that pain to their children and the people around them. They choose to do good regardless. They know how it feels to not be believed in. They know how it feels to be raised by a narcissistic parent. They know how it feels to be abused, and they don't pass on that abuse to other people, and especially to children. And then there's another set of people that have gone through things. They've been abused. They may have not been believed in. They've grown up with different struggles. There was no money in the house, and they pass on that pain to their kids. They pass on that pain to the people that love them. They pass on that pain to everyone around them. They are hurtful. They just want to hurt because they are hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. What kind of person are you? What kind of person are you? This is the story of the villain and the hero. And I think you need to choose the way of the hero all the time. It's never easy to be a hero. It's easy being a villain because you just get to live on emotions and do whatever you want and just hurt people and just say whatever you want, treat your kids however you want. And that is the story of the shadow. If you read from Carl Jung, he talks of the shadow, that everyone has a shadow, everyone has a dark side, and that dark side comes from how we grow up. How are we going to are we conscious of that shadow? Are we conscious of how the pain that we've gone through to where you are today, how it shapes how you talk, how it shapes how you treat others, how it shapes how you treat your children, how it shapes how you treat your money, how it shapes how you treat everything that is important to you? Are you aware? Or are you just living subconsciously? You see, most people are NPCs. And what is an NPC? An NPC is a non-player character. You see, in a game, there's the character that you control, and there are those characters in the game where if you go there, no matter how many times you go to that character, it stays the same thing, it does the same thing because it's programmed to behave in that way. And that's how a lot of people are. We live as our pain, we live through our pain. We're just NPCs. Whatever we went through is exactly how we behave. We never want to self-improve. We don't read self-development books. We don't try to understand why we behave the way we do. Why are you so short-tempered? Why are you how you are? Why are you so sexual? What has happened to you? What were you exposed to when you were young, and how can you help yourself? How can you be a better version of you? Being a hero is hard, but hard things come with good rewards. There is nothing worth it in this life that you can get without hard. The reason why gold is so expensive is because it's hard to get. It's hard to replicate. It takes years. So the hard things today are going to make your life easy tomorrow. There's a quote that I like from the Green Goblin that he says to Spider-Man. Right? The Green Goblin is the hero, is the villain. And he says, I chose my path and you chose the way of the hero. And they found you amusing at first or for a while, the people of this city. But one thing they love the most, more than a hero, is to see a hero fall. See him die trying. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Is that not true about life? You try to help people, you try to be a hero, you grow up and you have siblings, you may have parents, but no matter how much you do for them, it's never enough. They always want more. They are never grateful. And this makes most people just turn their back sometimes on the people that they love and the people that they want to help. But is that how the hero behaves? Does the hero turn away from the city because the people of the city are trying to kill him back? Every story that you watch, every movie of the hero, the people of the city hate the hero. The people of the city are afraid of the hero because he has these superpowers that they don't understand. They're trying to capture him. He's trying to help them, but they want to capture him. They're actually kind of villains. They're helping the villain. It doesn't matter if it's Spider-Man. It doesn't matter if it's Batman. Right? So what are you going to do? The hero still does the right thing, even when the people that he loves are not grateful. The hero always save the city till the end. Sometimes you need to help your bloodline, your parents, no matter whatever pain they are going through and no matter how resentful they are. I believe doing good is always good. Sometimes stop focusing on the applause. Stop focusing on the thank you. Stop focusing on people appreciating what you do for them. Sometimes you just need to do the right thing. When God has blessed you to be at a certain place, to be a certain person, you have the resources to help. Sometimes you need to just extend your help because these people that you feel like are not grateful, sometimes are going through their pain. They're going through their villain era. And sometimes by extending love and help to them, no matter how they treat you, maybe a few years down the line, they can come back to their senses and say, you know what? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the love that I received. Sometimes you need to have the love of Jesus, the love of God that extends even. I'm not saying bring these people into your circle and let them affect your life or your finances. I'm saying when God has blessed you with abundance, sometimes you just need to give back to the people that you love, to your bloodline, to the people of your community. It is the way of the hero. So till my next video, I'm out.